This is obviously an antique barn, and this whole property was that brush back there you guys can see in the back, and all we can do is what we can do and rig the sprinkler up to soak that wood because that thing's a tinderbox and it's full of hay too. This is unreal.
This morning, many more people on edge. That devastating Caldor fire threatening to cross state lines into Nevada. You just heard from a Douglas County resident who's bracing for the worst.
And check out this new video that our crew sent in from overnight. This is just west of Kirkwood. It's a spot all eyes are on as the Caldor fire continues its rage.
So this morning, that fire is nearing 200,000 acres. Containment is only 18%.
And it started 18 days ago. It's currently burning in El Dorado and Amador counties.
So with conditions, evacuations, and progress constantly changing, we have teams on the ground for you right now to give us the latest information. Devin Haskins live in Christmas Valley. Joshua Robinson is in for us at Kirkwood.
We will talk live with both of them in just a few minutes. But first, the weather playing a big role in this Caldor firefight. Right, Rob?
Yes, and we still need to pay attention to this. This is still very dangerous. We have yet another red flag warning day, and fire grows very quickly under these conditions. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have at the moment and where things are going. Again, this is a very dicey day because so much is threatened and in the way. Red flag conditions until 11 p.m. tonight. This is an established fire that is going to continue to move in the Tahoe Basin. Anytime you've got fire in the basin with red flag conditions, it is a threat. The air is dry, there's abundant fuels, and this is an urban interface fire at times. Now, this is where the fire moved yesterday. This is satellite hotspots, which gives you a broad overlook. I don't want you to think that all of that is currently burning hot right now, but it gives you an idea of where the fire moved. That west to east movement was really critical in keeping a lot of the hot, dangerous fire away from places like Myers, away from the Y, away from South Lake Tahoe, and deeper into very steep and very highly dense fuels along those mountains there. However, it's still actively burning, and when you take a look at the camera that's looking directly into this, this is how it's looking overnight. A lot of hot fire ready to go when the winds pick up later on today. But some beneficial movement yesterday, taking it away from very populated areas, and firefighters are ready to go in those neighborhoods if it decides to come out of the mountains and deeper into town. Now, for more on the current situation, we're going to talk to Devin Haskins, who's been on this fire for the last several days. I know you've seen a lot. I know you've experienced a lot, so thank you for your work. Tell us what you've seen in the overnight hours and what you think is coming next.
Well, right now, or today, we tried to get down to Echo Lake, but the road leading to Echo Lake was blocked by fallen branches and rocks. As we tried to get down there, we had to turn around after just a couple of switchbacks.
Coming up on lot 50 here. All of these good to go. Wow, this is just crazy because this whole hillside was on fire yesterday.
On Tuesday, one of our reporters was able to get down to the lake and show that multiple cabins were still standing. I talked to a fire official earlier this morning, and he said the cabins on the road are still good. And while the fire is still burning in Echo Lake, it's up in the hills and slowly making its way down. Fire officials say that what the fire is doing is good news and call it right now just a waiting game. Here from the top of Echo Summit, looking down over the Christmas Valley, you can see flames riding the hillside. But firefighters say that the winds weren't as bad as they anticipated, and they say they dodged a bullet with all the homes down there. Fire officials said that if they can keep the fire up in the hills, they'll have less fuel to burn.
We're hoping that we can get it up there and just kind of hang it up in some of the granite and the sparser fuels, which will allow us to, once these winds subside and the red flag warnings go away, will allow us to try to get crews up there and try to go direct and hold it in place.
One thing to note is that the smoke here in the Christmas Valley has cleared from above where we're at, which is not necessarily a good thing because the smoke helps keep the fire down. And as the smoke clears, it gives the fire more oxygen, which can help it spread on some of those longer runs that we've seen recently. Let's send it over to Joshua Robinson at the Kirkwood Mountain Resort.
Thanks, Devin. Fire crews and emergency responders have been here at the Kirkwood Resort overnight, and essentially it's been a spot that they've been able to get a lot of rest as well after making a strong stand yesterday against the Caldor fire pushing into this area. But even so, that threat's still very present in the back of everyone's minds. After a successful day of air attacks and redirecting the Caldor Fire away from the Kirkwood Mountain Resort and the nearby community of homes and cabins, this morning we took a closer look at just how much of a threat loomed just over the hill. It didn't take long, just a mile west along Highway 88, before we stumbled upon a patch of fire burning on both sides of the highway, about a length of a football field in total, as one fire crew monitored its progress closely. As late night winds whipped the fire back and forth, we retreated after only a few minutes, as we could immediately tell just why evacuations were necessary nearby. Back at the staging area, firefighters rested comfortably overnight, but lined up in formation if they were called to action at a moment's notice. Here back at the resort, I had a chance to meet with two firefighters that were actually inside the resort themselves. One of them was getting some much needed rest on one of the couches here in the lodge, and the other one was working on his work laptop to get the latest information on these fires. And he told me that on their last check, the fire still has not made its push over the ridge, so it's not directly threatening the resort just yet. Of course, they will stay here until 7 o'clock this morning when a new crew comes in to relieve them. Back to you, Bria.
Round the clock work. Joshua, Devin, thank you both. Now time to see how the Caldor Fire is affecting the roads this morning with Brittany Begley.
Yeah, I've been following Josh and everything he's been doing on Twitter. I want to show you this video because it actually shows you those driving conditions on 88. Take a look at your screen. You can see the debris right there, the ash. You can also see, let's not forget, the huge fire on the side of 88. So again, this is near Kirkwood, but let's talk traffic. I like to show you exactly what's going on. So 88 in Amador County, Dewdrop all the way up to 89, shut down 89 at Pickett Junction, and then 50 between Sly Park and Myers. That means you can take 4, but I am still watching your conditions on 4. You can also take 80, but that's the big story in the traffic center. Now, a couple things I'm watching right now. A new accident in the slow lane. This is going to be 99 North near Florin Road. So it looks like our speed trackers are green. Everybody is going the speed limit, but I'll watch this throughout the commercial break. You can always take 5. For my super commuters, traffic is moving in Tracy, but I'll break down your drive times coming up next.